Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at some of the most overpowered heroes in the current meta of Overwatch. It is our first season, our first meta with the role queue, and it's been quite an interesting ride thus far. So let's take a look at these very strong heroes to get you some sweet SR. Now, just keep in mind there are a ton of good heroes in Overwatch, but these 6 that I've put together are basically S tier. They're the top of the top, and without further ado, if you guys do enjoy this video, consider hitting that like button, leave a comment disagreeing or agreeing, opinions are the best thing, and let's get straight into it. To start off the list, if you did not see this one coming, then you've been living under a rock because she has completely overtaken the meta, and that's the one and only Orisa. She's, I mean, obviously you guys saw this coming. It is the double shield meta, and, well, her shield is quite powerful, and if you do not take it out quickly, the cooldown is short enough in which it'll be back up before the current one has been broken. Again, unless you are working as a team and really take advantage of the time period after the shield breaks and in between her cooldown, but that time period is short, just a few seconds. Of course, this makes her shield very strong in a double shield meta. I would say Orisa's biggest weakness is her mobility, right? Lack of mobility. But in a meta which we're hiding behind shields and fighting at choke points more, it's not a big deal, right? Like, her lack of mobility is dampened by the type of meta we're playing, and to add insult to injury, of course, her high ammo count. She just keeps shooting, and when you're talking about a double shield meta in which you're fighting behind shields, ammo count is huge. It means you're continually putting pressure on the opposing team. So, like, Reinhardt is extremely strong, right? He's always been strong. But when you have an Orisa who has her shield on a very fast cooldown and can output so much continuous damage, it's going to put too much pressure on the opposing team, and this is why Orisa is basically on this spot. This is why she's the top hero. This is why she's dominating and making for an extremely solid frontliner. Moving from there, our next S tier hero is also a tank, and that is Sigma. Now, I was surprised. I didn't expect Sigma to completely come in and very heavily influence the meta, but I can see why. A lot of people are saying two things. It's mainly that it's easier to learn him than it is to learn how to counter him, and it's also because of his mobility shield or his mobile shield. You can shoot it out, bring it back, move it, shoot it out, and you can continue this, and it's strong. It's 1500. That's a huge shield. That's nothing to underestimate. So basically people are saying it's double shield meta, and that shield is perfect. That's why he's good. But I think it goes more than that. Similar to Orisa, people are forgetting that the rock that he shoots, sorry I forgot the name, the rock that he shoots is similar to Orisa's pull. It can stop dives and initiations. So when you have an Orisa and Sigma, you can keep people behind the shield, and that's what you need to do. Keep them behind your shield in order to continuously fire out damage while being safe. Now, something else I'm going to come out and say, and a lot of people are going to disagree, is that I think Sigma's kit is overloaded. I mean, at least for this meta, right? So don't forget his kinetic grasp, in which he'll just be consuming damage. So on top of his mobile shield and that rock, sorry I keep forgetting the name, and the rock that completely stops people from penetrating a shield or going around it as long as he's aiming it well, you also have the kinetic grasp for once they dive you successfully, you can absorb a lot of the damage as you're backing up and then replace the shield. He basically has a way to counter his counters, and just to add insult to injury, this is not the strongest part or even broken by any means, but his ultimate goes a long way as well. The way you can just use it offensively or defensively is huge, right? You can either get a huge 6-man ultimate, or you can just use it to stop 2 ultimates or an ultimate on the opposing team, depending if you're defending or attacking. I just think he's strong and maybe even better than Orisa. You know, right when we started I said Orisa would be number 1. Sigma contests that very closely. But anyways, I think he's completely broken at the moment. But you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below, and let's move on to the next one. Most of you saw this coming, Doomfist. At least I hope you saw this coming, because DPS is not in the best spot. They're not in a bad spot, but like, out of the 3 roles, they're definitely the worst ones at the moment, and there's very few that can help in the double shield meta. I mean, McCree's fine, but you have trouble with him. Soldier's absolutely trash. Genji's absolutely trash. Tracer's absolutely trash. I mean, there's a lot of DPS that just can't do much against shields, right? But Doomfist can do a lot against shields because he ignores them. Get onto the high ground, dive in with a slam, uppercut, shoot 2 to 3 times, hopefully pick off the squishy, turn around and punch your way out. That combo alone is huge in this meta. Actually, you need to get super good at Doomfist if you are a DPS main, which a lot of people are. A lot of people are DPS mains, but they're playing snipers like Hanzo, or even worse, Widowmaker, which are strong heroes in the right hands, but not in this meta. Most DPS really become useless in this meta. Doomfist is huge, and I actually think he is necessary on picking off squishies if you want a chance to win. He needs to jump in, pick off the squishy, then you can dive that Orisa and Sigma, and even if they use their anti-dive abilities against you guys, it won't matter because you get back up. It's not like there's enough time for the Mercy you picked off to be back in the fight, and you guys can win, right? But that's the whole point. Doomfist is the breaking point of the meta. He is the only way to counter the meta. At least that's in my opinion. Anyways, moving from there, let's take a look at our next hero, and I think you guys would have expected this. It is Lucio. Maybe you would have expected it, because I actually haven't seen many Lucios, but he is definitely S tier. He is a mobile hero that can move from A to B faster than any other support character, right? That's the truth. He is extremely suitable for a comp that has Doomfist in it, and basically he's really huge for those frontliners, right? Something like Orisa and Sigma, he keeps them alive while being able to move around easily. And guess what else he has? That very nice boop and one of the best ultimates in the game to stop dives, right? This meta is the biggest anti-dive meta ever. Literally, the double shield and everyone in the S tier has abilities to counteract people who want to jump in. The enemies will most likely have a Doomfist. Lucio is one of the few supports who has a chance to survive a Doomfist encounter, right? Doomfist jumps in, boops up Lucio. Lucio can actually displace Doomfist with his own boop and get out of the way, which is super important. We're in a meta where the tanks need to be tanks, you hide behind shields, but to stop dives, you need to have anti-dive heroes. Lucio is one of them, S tier, top tier. I think most of you guys can agree with that. And on to the next one, we have Moira. I mean, Moira is obvious. Now, Moira is someone I see being played all the time, like basically auto pick in arcade, quick play, the new role queue quick play, and ranked. She is so popular right now, and for good reason. She deals consistent high damage while being able to heal her entire team, and she is just versatile, right? You can throw out your damage ball or your heal ball if Doomfist dives you. Similar to Lucio, she's one of the few supports who can phase out of it, keep herself alive while the tanks do the tank things. Doomfist dives in and Lucio helps the Doomfist, and then Moira is keeping the tanks alive while dealing damage alongside them. She's just a perfect fit in this meta, and she's like the last piece to the puzzle. That's kind of the best way to put it. But anyways, talking about last pieces, let's talk about our last hero on the list, and that is Symmetra. Now, I put her last because she's a little bit different. She was 100% S tier top, non-disputed, maybe even better than Orisa and Sigma, but she did get nerfed twice, and those nerfs have now bordered her between S tier and A tier. Now, a lot of the top 500s, Grandmasters and Masters I talked to believe Symmetra is still 100% S tier, and I agree with them for the most part, right? She has extremely high damage output, and it's because she shreds shields with her max level beam. That's the main importance. Of course, her teleporter can be used for a lot of nifty tricks to even move Orisa and Sigma, which both lack mobility, into different spots while they keep their shields because they're on such low cooldowns. So for that alone, she's extremely strong and synergizes with the meta. But her turrets will keep enemies at bay, which again wow, can you imagine? An ability that stops dive. It's the biggest anti-dive meta ever, I'm telling you guys. And, of course, her ultimate's another shield, so why not? So, in conclusion, a team consisting of Orisa, Sigma, Doomfist, Symmetra, Lucio, and Moira would be broken. And if you do run this team comp, you're going to see a lot of high success. I mean, they all work super well with one another and against one another. So they all have anti-dive abilities and capabilities. Doomfist has a very high potential of actually breaking this. I mean, he's the only proper counter to this meta, and he's the only dive who can really get in there and get out safely. And then, of course, you have Orisa's pull, which works with Doomfist's ultimate and Sigma's ultimate. So, I mean, you've just got a team that works with one another and against one another, which is perfect. It's maybe one of the strongest team comps in one of the strongest and most brutal metas I've ever seen. That's my own opinion. But anyways, you guys can let me know your opinion in the comments down below. Feel free to leave a like if you liked the video and a dislike if you did. Opinions are all fine and good. And yeah, consider subscribing for some more content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.